Hey, it's me and Oliver. We're back with Light on Yoga explained pose by a yoga teacher. Remember, I'm not an Iyengar yoga teacher, so I'm explaining this as just your typical vinyasa or power yoga teacher. Today we're talking about Paripurna Navasana, which is 2 stars in difficulty out of 60. Paripurna means entire or complete. The posture here resembles that of a boat with oars, hence the name. I guess he kind of forgot to say Navasana means boat, I'm guessing. I mean, that's what I know it's called, boat pose. Here's what it looks like. It's a heat wave, so I'm wearing the least amount of clothing as possible, and I suggest you do that too. It's helpful. Technique. Sit on the floor with the legs stretched straight in front. Place the palms on the floor by the hips, the fingers pointing to the feet. Stretch the hands straight and keep the back erect. I think he means stretch the arms straight, because I don't know how else to stretch the hands straight. This position is called Dandasana, which is its own pose, so this is kind of a 2-for-1. Dandasana is also 2 stars out of 60. I don't get how this isn't 1 star out of 60, maybe because your legs need to be straight. There's the photo. So even though now we've moved into Dandasana, there's just a parentheses that says Danda equals a staff or a rod. I guess we're continuing into still Paripurna Navasana, because then it says step 2. Exhale, recline the trunk slightly back and simultaneously raise the legs from the floor and keep them stiff as a poker with the knees tight and the toes pointing forwards. Okay, I don't normally do my Navasana with my legs straight. Alternative or a modification here is to bend your knees, and that's fine to bend your knees. So I'm leaning my upper body back and then lifting my legs. If you can straighten your legs all the way out and point your toes. I just can't hold that while I keep reading this, so I'm going to bend my knees. Balance is maintained only on the buttocks, and no part of the spine should be allowed to touch the floor, from which the legs should be kept at an angle of 60 to 65 degrees. So maybe a little bit more. Okay, I'm coming down to pause and keep reading. The feet are higher than the head and not level with it, as in Arda Navasana, which is, I see, low boat pose, which is what's happening here. Remove the hands from the floor and stretch the arms forward, keeping them parallel to the floor and near the thighs. The shoulders and the palms should be on one level, and the palms should face each other. Stay in the pose for half a minute with normal breathing. Gradually increase the time to 1 minute. One feels the effect of the exercise after only 20 seconds, or less. Then exhale, lower the hands, rest the legs on the floor, and relax by lying on the back. So, reaching the hands forward, palms facing one another. This is Navasana. I guess point your toes. He doesn't say if your legs should be wide or together. I have my big toes together, and for me that means my legs aren't really touching, but they're very close. And this is the pose. And then he says you can lie down afterwards to rest. But let's just keep reading to Arda Navasana. So this is kind of actually a 3-for-1 because this is just a variation on Navasana. Arda Navasana, also 2 stars out of 60 in difficulty level. Arda means half. Nava is a ship, boat, or vessel. This posture resembles the shape of a boat, hence the name. Sit on the floor, stretch the legs out in front and keep them straight, same as the first boat pose. Interlock the fingers and place them on the back of the head, just above the neck. Exhale, recline the trunk back and simultaneously raise the legs from the floor, keeping the knees tight and the toes pointed. The balance of the body rests on the buttocks and no part of the spine should be allowed to touch the floor. Same as regular boat pose. One feels the grip on the muscles of the abdomen and the lower back. Keep the legs at an angle of about 30 to 35 degrees from the floor and the crown of the head in line with the toes. Hold this pose for 20 to 30 seconds with normal breathing. A stay for 1 minute in this posture indicates strong abdominal muscles. Feel called out right now. Do not hold the breath during this asana, though the tendency is always to do it with suspension of breath after inhalation. If the breath is held, the effect will be felt on the stomach muscles and not on the abdominal organs. Deep inhalation in this asana would loosen the grip on the abdominal muscles. In order to maintain this grip, inhale, exhale, and hold the breath, and go on repeating this process but without breathing deeply. This will exercise not only the abdominal muscles but the organs also. The difference between Arda Navasana and Paripurna Navasana should be noted. In the latter, the legs are moved higher and the distance between them and the stomach is less than in the former. So here are the effects for both of these 2 boat poses. The effects of both differ due to the position of the legs. In Paripurna Navasana, the first one, The exercise is effective on the intestines, whereas Arda Navasana works on the liver, gallbladder, and spleen. In the beginning, the back is too weak to bear the strain of the pose. When power to retain the pose comes, it indicates that the back is gaining strength. A weak back is a handicap in many ways, especially to women as they need strong backs for childbearing. These two asanas coupled with lateral twistings of the spine will help to strengthen the back. The importance of having a healthy lower back can be realized if we watch old people when they sit down, get up, and walk, for consciously or unconsciously they support their backs with their hands. This indicates that the back is weak and cannot withstand the strain. As long as it is strong and needs no support, one feels young, though advanced in age. The two asanas bring life and vigor back to the body and enable us to grow old gracefully and comfortably. All right, so this was the first one that we already did, or this. And let me try the one with the hands behind the back. Interlacing the fingers, and then the legs extending, but only about 30 degrees off the ground. Something like this, although it looks like he was lower. Ooh, which then I fall back onto my back, so that's not happening for me. Another variation that I would teach in a class, not being an Iyengar teacher, is just high to low boat. So that would just be something like this, from high boat to low boat to high boat to low boat. Kind of a variation there between those two poses. And another little exercise that's fun from Strala Yoga is to do high to low boat like that, but then also to do kind of like a twisty one. So you'd go from high to low to high, and then maybe you'd reach in opposite directions with your hands and legs as you go low, just like that. And then another variation is to reach towards the same side, so to the right, and then back up, and then to the left, and then back up. So you can do lots of variations. There are even more boat variations. You can have your legs down if it's too much to even bring your legs up at all, and just kind of lean back and start here. I've been showing you this kind of second variation, and then there's the full variation. But there's also things that you could do with your hands. In core power yoga, they have you bring your hands up and down like this. You can also do Russian twists from here, going side to side. So it's a great starting off point for lots of core exercises. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. Put any questions in the comments below. Like this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll talk to you again soon.